Are you ready for the next step in our Earth's Layers Cootie Catcher adventure? I know it sounds kind of silly. It's not going to be that cool, but it's going to be kind of cool. Okay, so the first things first, we want to make our paper look like this paper. So, or at least close to it. So right here, we're going to put some numbers in our little triangles here first so we know where we're at. So I'm going to put number 1 right there. Okay, and then I'm going to turn my paper this way and I'm going to put number 2 right there. Y'all with me? Next one, I'm just going to keep going the same way, but we're going to keep turning this thing. I'm going to put a number 3 right there. I'm going to turn it back and put a number 4 right there. I'm going to turn it all the way around this way. Make sure I'm the right direction here. This 5 is going to go this direction. And then we're going to turn it this way. I know this might get confusing. Like I said, just pause if you have to. I'm going to put a 6 right there. I'm going to turn it back upside down. Don't worry, like I said, if you get lost, just pause the video and back up. I'm going to put a 7 right there. And then we're going to go back this way. And I'm going to put an 8 right there. Okay, so I'm going to put the 1 back on top and let y'all look at that for just a second. Go ahead and pause. Make sure your numbers are lining up with my numbers, okay? Okay, are you ready? We're going to number some more because I don't want us to get lost, okay? So my 8 is sitting right here. Right off the 8 in this corner, I'm going to put a number 9. And I'm going to flip it over and put a number 10 right there. I want to turn my paper this way and put an 11, and I'm going to turn it upside down and put a 12 right there. We're going to turn this way. Okay, so I've got 4 right here and a 5 right there. I'm going to put 13 right here. If you get lost, just pause. It's not a big deal, okay? I know this is crazy town confusing. It's going to be cool when we get done, though. It'll be worth it. Be a good time. We flipped it over. Now we've got 5 right here and 6 right here. We're going to put 14 right there, okay? We're going to go back this way a little bit. See how 6 is up? 15 is going to be facing up next to the 6 there, okay? We're going to go back over, and now 16 and 7 are going to be facing the same direction, okay? Does that kind of make sense? So I made those numbers the way I made them because that's the direction of the writing. And we want, whenever we write, all of our stuff to be going the right direction on our cootie catcher. That's kind of why I made all these flip and flop and go the way that we made them go, okay? Don't let it confuse you. It's okay. So the first one of these we're going to write in is box 9 right here. Okay, so we're going to turn 9 so that it's facing up and down just like it should be. There's 8, there's 9, there's 10. Okay, so the first thing we're going to write in this box is crust. And we're going to write it right up against this line right here. So C-R-U-S-T for crust. Okay, and we're going to flip it to box 10. So we're facing the correct direction again, okay? And we're going to write right here the lithosphere. So we got lithosphere right there, okay? We're going to turn this direction. So we've got the next box and we're going to write the correct direction. There's 2 and 11, and we're going to write fault right there. Okay, so now we've got fault. We're going to flip them over so we write in the correct direction again. Seems crazy, I know, but it's okay. So fault is underneath. Here we've got box 12. There's number 3. we're going to write the core right here. C-O-R-E for core. We're going to turn this way so we can write in box 13. There we've got 4 and 13, and we're going to say outer core. Okay, so now we've got 13. We're going to go to 14, but 14 is upside down, so we're going to turn again. Okay, there's mantle. Okay, so we got 14, number 5's right there, and there's mantle. Any point you need to pause, just pause the video, okay? It's not a big deal. So we've got mantle. We're going to go to box 15, which for 15 to be facing the correct direction, there's 15, there's 6, and we're going to write right here, and this is going to be inner core. Last but not least, we're going to turn back upside down here, and we're going to write asthenosphere right here. This is one of them fun ones to say, the asthenosphere. So A-S-T-H-E-N-O-S-P-H-E-R-E. Goodness, that's a big old word right there. Okay, we are almost there, folks. So take a look at this right here. We've got, which direction is it? So I'm going to turn it like this because there was 9 right here. That was the first one. There's crust. Pause that video right now if you want to, and make sure that yours is lining up with mine, okay? Make sure our numbers are in the right spots because it matters whenever we start opening up our cootie catcher. If we're not putting stuff in the right places, it's not going to line up with our notes, right? Okay. Hopefully you're ready to move on now. We are going to start at box number 1, and we're going to fill in our notes from number 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8. You ready? I'm flipping her over. Okay, so number 1, you see the direction number 1's facing. We want this to be the top of our rating because whenever we open up our cootie catcher, that's how we're going to have it to read it, okay? So the information we're going to put in number 1 is about the lithosphere. And if you think back to our definitions from Wednesday and our notes from Thursday, some important information about the lithosphere. We talked about in class that it's our combo layer of Earth's layers. So what that means, like if you went to McDonald's and got a combo meal, you're going to get more than one thing, right? You're probably going to get at least 3 things. So for lunch today, I actually had McDonald's. I had the cheeseburger meal, you know, where you get 2 cheeseburgers and a French fry and a Coke. The lithosphere, you get 2 things with the lithosphere. So that's our combo meal of Earth's layers. We get all of the crust and then the first itty bitty layer of the mantle in the lithosphere. So I want you to put right here that it's our combo layer. Okay, it's our combo layer, and then I want you to put down here crust plus a tiny bit of mantle. Okay, so it's pretty important that you keep all of your writing in that box, but make sure you can read it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to do any good if your writing's all over the place, and you know what I'm saying. So keep it neat, keep it small, keep it so you can read it. Okay, so see number 2 right here? We're going to go to number 2. We want number 2 to be facing up, so we're going to write this direction. The information we're going to put in box 2 is about a fault. So we haven't talked about a fault yet, but they're pretty cool. That is where earthquakes and stuff happen, is at fault lines in our tectonic plates. So really what it is a break in Earth's crust. So we'll go ahead and write it down. A break in Earth's crust. Okay, so make sure it's facing the right direction. Number 2 is a break in Earth's crust. So see number 3 is upside down here. So I'm going to turn this so that I can write in there the correct direction. And number 3, our information is going to be about the core of Earth. Okay, so if you think back to the notes in the vocab, the core of Earth is made of iron and nickel, and there's two layers in the core. There's the inner core and the outer core. So right here we're going to write iron and nickel, and then outer and inner. Okay, so the whole core, inner and outer core, all of it is made of iron and nickel, and then there's two different parts, okay? There's the outer core and the inner core. So here's number 4. We want to make sure we're writing in the correct direction, so we're going to turn it so that up is going this way, so our 4, you with me? Okay. We're going to write this information about the outer core, and the outer core is Earth's only liquid layer. Okay, so only liquid layer. That's super important to remember about our outer core. Okay. Okay, see number 5 sitting here? 5's upside down, so we're going to give it a turn. Okay, so 5 is sitting right next to the mantle. So our information for number 5 is going to be about the mantle. And if you remember, the mantle is where those convection currents happen. So we're going to write convection currents right here. And then it's also important to know that the mantle is a semi-solid. It's got that plasticity, right? So we're going to write semi-solid right there. So our mantle has convection currents. It's a semi-solid. Okay, here's number 6 sitting this direction, so we're going to turn it so we can see everything the right way. Okay, number 6, we're talking about the inner core, and the outer core is liquid, the inner core is a solid, so I'm going to write solid right there, and the inner core is the most dense layer of all of Earth. So I'm going to put most dense. Okay, most dense and a solid for the inner core. Y'all remember why the inner core is a solid? It seems kind of weird. It's the hottest layer, and if it's the hottest layer, I would think that it should either have turned the rock into a gas or still be a liquid. But the immense amount of pressure of the whole Earth that is squishing down on Earth's inner core is the reason it's a solid. Those molecules and those atoms have so much pressure on them, they don't have enough room to break away to become a liquid. They are just absolutely smashed together into the solid that they are. Kind of cool, right? Okay. We want to write in box 7 next, so this one right here, we're going to turn again. There's number 7. So number 7, we're going to be writing about the asthenosphere. So the asthenosphere is the layer that has plasticity. Okay, so we're going to write that fun word right here. And remember, plasticity is a solid that can flow. That's when we were playing with our oobleck. You know, it's that solid, but if you turn it back and forth, it'll kind of flow, but you can't pinch it and you can't poke it because it's solid. It's kind of crazy, right? But that's the kind of stuff, that plasticity that the asthenosphere has. And this asthenosphere is where Earth's plates float around. So we're going to write plates float on it. Okay, so plasticity and plates float on it, the asthenosphere right there. Last box we were going to fill in this information on is number 8. So we want to be right in the correct direction, so I'm going to turn it sideways. This one we're going to be talking about Earth's crust. So Earth's crust is the one on the very top. It's the one that we walk around on. So I'm going to put right here, we live on it. Okay, so we live on it, on Earth's crust. Okay, there's 2 different types of crust. There's continental crust and there's oceanic crust. So I'm going to write continental. And then in parentheses, I'm going to put land. Okay. And then here I'm going to put oceanic. And I'm going to write ocean. Because that's the two different types of crust we have. The continental crust is the one that we walk around on. You look out your window and you see dirt outside. That's continental crust. If we lived on the coast and we looked out at the ocean, the land that's under the ocean is going to be oceanic crust. Okay, so that's the two different types of crust. Now, last but not least, we have our little corners here, right? So on the one that I have, I've got some cute little layers of the earth pictures right here. So let's say in this corner right here, I'm just going to make a square. And you'll see why in just a few minutes. So we have a game that we can play. And I know that you guys are at home and it's going to be kind of hard for you to play a game all by yourself, but you can still do it. It's going to be okay. So I'm going to put a square right here. See how I've got a square right there? Okay. And then I'm going to put a heart on this corner right here, and I'm going to put layers of earth, or earth's layers. I'm going to flip it around a little bit more, and this one I'm going to put a triangle. And then in the last one right here, I'll just make a little circle. So you can color them in if you want to, but you don't have to. But you can. I think I will, just because it seems fun. Okay, I'm going to set this right here. I want you to go ahead and pause the video if you need to. Take a look. Go into our Files tab if you want to, and see what we come up with, okay? I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out and fold it up. Now, you guys, there's a video next that shows you how to fold the cootie catcher. We'll meet up after that, and we'll show you how to play the game, okay?